allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight, as I ask you to join me in a moment of silent prayer, I would also ask that you keep in mind the family of former Councilman Don Wingett, who passed this past week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Doug Goss.
Here.
Lucinda Wright.
Present.
Bill Engel.
Here.
Ann Taylor.
Here.
Gary Turner.
Here.
Jane Bumbelow.
Here.
Justin Burkhart.
Here.
Jerry Purcell.
Here.
And Larry Parker.
Here.
All are present.
Thank you very much. Approval of the minutes of our special meeting that was held on October the 20th, 2025.
If there are no corrections, Mr. President, I move that we pass them as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the special meeting of October the 20th as received. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Petitions, memorials, introductions, motions, resolutions. We have none of those this evening. Communications from the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight's special meeting about the budget, my comments are all about the budget and 2025 ordinances. So the significant challenges that the city's 2026 budget is facing cannot be solved at the same level of thinking the city was at when they were created. It is time to embrace innovative solutions. All of the various funds that comprise the 2026 budget, especially those derived from the levy, are highly interdependent. This interdependent nature of the budget makes it very challenging to balance essential services throughout 13 departments and 33 divisions while considering the effects of unintended consequences in other areas. This has been a strategic process that has taken considerable time, and we're down to the wire, so I appreciate council's working with the administration to get us to this point. All of the 2025 ordinances you have before you tonight are necessary to set the stage to end this calendar year on solid footing and begin the next with a solid foundation. Unlike our counterparts in Washington, D.C., who have not been able to fulfill their most basic of functions, pass a budget, I am confident that the budget we have created in partnership with the council is realistic and workable. By balancing the 24 city operations funds from the levy in 2026, there will be changes in how the city operates and how it provides services to the community. After tonight's vote, there will be a lot more work over the next several months in order to realign those services within all the departments. So we ask the public to be patient with us as we adapt to the new normal. Thank you.
Any questions or comments to the mayor? Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Report of Board of Public Works and Safety. There are no minutes, so we'll go right straight to miscellaneous business. Do we have any miscellaneous business to come at this time? Hearing none, ordinances on first reading.
Mr. President, I
Mr.
move
Turner.
to suspend the rules and read ordinance 52, 2025 by title only.
Second. Have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 52, 2025 by title only. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Ordinance number 52, 2025, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
And who will speak to this ordinance? Beth Fields?
That's a shock.
Good evening, Beth Fields, Director of Strategic Initiatives. Ordinance 52, 2025 is a transfer ordinance. This is the transfer that we spoke about during the Committee of the Whole meetings from the Local Option Income Tax Fund. When that funding initially became available to communities, it had to be placed in its own separate fund. That money can be used for any lawful purpose. At this time, it is in the best interest of the city to transfer that money to the general fund for use for the general fund budget. There is no appropriation in this fund. We have not appropriated any of these funds, so therefore it is not necessary for us to do a budget reduction because it has not been appropriated. So we are able to simply do this ordinance 52-2025, which will transfer the funding from that local option income tax fund to the general fund. And then the next ordinance that we have, which is the companion ordinance, which is ordinance 49-2025, that is the appropriation ordinance that will appropriate those funds that are being transferred to the general fund to their specific line items for use in the 2025 budget.
It is my understanding that this has to be passed tonight.
Correct.
Any questions of council members regarding 52-2025?
Move for engrossment.
We can't engross it, we'll send it second.
Mr. President,
Mr. Turner,
I make the motion to suspend the rules and advance ordinance 52-2025 to second reading, read by title only.
Second.
have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and advance ordinance 52-2025 to second reading and read by title only. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Ordinance number 52, 2025, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
Ordinance number 52, 2025 is on second reading, which is public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is there anyone in the audience like to speak in opposition? Mr. Purcell?
Move for engrossment.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to engross. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Call the question.
Second.
Please call the question.
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Jane Bumbelow,
Aye.
Justin Burkhart,
Aye.
Jerry Purcell,
Aye.
and Larry Parker.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Ordinances on second reading.
Yes.
Ordinance number 49, 2025, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
On all of these ordinances that are on second reading, they have been, excuse me. We have closed public hearing on these at our last meeting. So there will be no public hearing on any of these other ordinances. However, if someone from council has something they'd like to say about one, they definitely can. Mr. Burkhart, as the chairman of the Finance Committee, did you want to speak to any one of these or all of these? How would you like to do this?
Mr. President, I would like to give the opportunity to each and every counselor to either add or ask a question. I have a few questions myself.
Okay,
If it would be okay to go one by one.
certainly.
Thank
Just wanted to double check with you.
Thank you.
Okay, ordinance number 49, appropriation ordinance, which is streetlights and salaries. What is council's pleasure? Anybody like to speak to this, ask questions, or make comments? Hearing none. Mr. Burkhart, does Finance Committee have an opinion?
The Finance Committee believes that there was a lot of work that went into this and is very favorable.
All right. What is council's pleasure for ordinance?
Move for engrossment.
Second.
Have a motion and second engrossed. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Motion carried.
Call the question.
Second.
Have a motion and second to call the question. Please call the question.
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Jane Bumbelow,
Aye.
Justin Burkhart,
Aye.
Jerry Purcell,
No.
Larry Parker.
Aye.
8-1 in favor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Ordinance number 47, 2025, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
This is the salaries and overtime coming from the opioid fund. Anyone have any questions or comments regarding ordinance number 47, 2025?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
I personally would like to ask, I don't know if Ms. Fields has any background on the opioid, but the origin of the opioid fund, and if there's a elevator speech on what it was intended to be used for, Would you be able to share that with us?
Sure. So the opioid settlement funding comes from a variety of different pharmaceutical companies, that there were some different legal cases, and AJ might even be able to speak to this better than I can, that were pursued in order to receive funding from these companies to help municipalities as they deal with the opioid crisis within their communities. There have been multiple settlements from multiple different companies that communities are receiving funding from. And there is a guidance document that shares the permitted uses for the funds. This use is one of the permitted uses that is in that Schedule E, as we can utilize it for those times when the first responders are addressing substance use calls, as well as trying to think of the other word for the calls. Not coming to my mind at this very moment. But there are different calls. So what we have done is we have received a report from the police department that identifies all of those different calls that would be eligible. And then it would be the time spent on those calls, which does exceed the amount that we are requesting that would be utilized for patrol officers for those calls.
Mr. President, can I ask a follow-up question?
Certainly.
Ms. Fields, anywhere in there, just for my own clarity and the clarity of others, these funds, are they, in their origins, were they intended to find the front line as far as programming? And to, we certainly have a lot of individuals in the city that have been affected in some way with opioid usage. And so my real question is, between the creator or these settlements, if the real intention was to be used for specific programming to help these individuals affected, or if it was to help the city organizations trying to combat.
It's multiple things. It's set up for research. It's set up to fund programming. It can fund the front lines. It can fund supplies. There are a variety, I can't remember how many pages the document is, that outlines all of the eligible uses for the funding. It can be used for advertising. You can use it for billboards to try to discourage individuals from utilizing substances. It can be used for education, research. There are a variety of different eligible uses for the funding.
So for taxpayers and people following along, do you have direct connection? Do you have the paperwork that shows that the money that this is reimbursing does in fact line up versus a mismanagement opportunity?
Correct. Yes, we do have those actual reports that have all of the call dates, all of the information, all itemized by call, so that we do have that documentation. So when we file our annual report, we file a report annually each year on these funds. And so that will be put as supporting documentation with that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
And-
Mr. President. Mr. Purcell.
Yes, could this also be used to reimburse for supplies, et cetera, and manpower on EMS calls that are not fall under insurance or do not fall under insurance?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I would just say that we will continue receiving additional settlement funds through, I believe it's the year 2037. And we have received, on our restricted funding, we have received approximately 54% of the funding that we'll be receiving. So we still have additional funding that will be coming to the municipality. And as new settlements are created, that funding sheet is updated. So as new settlements are agreed upon, then new data is provided to municipalities as to what that additional funding would come to those municipalities.
Any additional comments or questions? Thank you.
Move to engross.
Second.
I have a motion and second to engross ordinance 47, 2025. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Call the question.
Second.
Have a motion to call the question and a second. Please call the question.
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor,
Aye.
Gary Turner.
Aye.
Jane Bumbelow.
Aye.
Justin Burkhart.
Aye.
Jerry Purcell,
No.
and Larry Parker.
Aye.
8-1 in favor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Ordinance number 48, 2025, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
Comments or questions from council members?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I do have a question for first response as it relates to some line items in the fire budget.
All right. Who would you like to question that to? The fire chief?
If the fire chief would be willing to.
Good evening.
Fire Chief Jeff Kinder, Richmond Fire.
Appreciate you coming up. Is it okay to speak, Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
On line items 2015, 0301, 101, 1196. Yeah. My question was on the civilian employees.
Correct.
And so, can you give us a little background on the need for that?
Well, we've been having a hiring issue for the last 10 years. We've not been fully staffed in 10 years. If I hire a medic, if a 3-year medic leaves the department today, it takes me 3 years to replace him. So we're constantly building guys, they get their medics, then they up and go someplace else. That's 3 years of experience that walk out. To replace him is 3 years. So we're looking at a civilian side of it because I can hire a paramedic to fill the medic spot in 4 weeks. If they have their medics and apply, we can fill that. And it helps fill that gap while we're trying to build these guys because these guys are leaving the most of the time that we get from their interview when they leave, they're leaving because forced overtime, too much overtime, working too many hours.
So my real question is that in a time where we've worked really hard on this budget, we're looking at every nook and cranny. Why not hire firefighters?
Well, because to get, like I said, to hire a firefighter, it's 5 months to even get into the process. From the application process to put his hand up is 5 months. Then it's 2 more months, 3 more months to get him through his EMT, 3 more months to get into his firefighter 1 and 2.
But would you be more limited, though, with hiring quicker and having less of a function?
Well, but I need EMS personnel. We need EMS personnel. The firefighters, we need firefighters too, and that's very important. The firefighters and our numbers that we have, but we've not been fully staffed in 10 years. We've been chasing this for a long time, and we need EMS personnel, and that's a bridge. And that doesn't it doesn't cut overtime all the way out. It's a bridge that we have civilian medics that work the medic trucks while we're also getting our firefighting trained and up to par where they need to be.
Yeah.
And not burn out either.
I totally understand that.
Am I understand the question?
No, I know that from the city's perspective, in this budgeting perspective, we have looked at positions, civilian positions throughout the city. And what do we need, what can we, and just to be as efficient as we possibly can. And so then, here we are hiring 5 civilians, not firefighters. And
We're still hiring firefighters. That's not stopping.
But I understand, but I mean, in a time where we have to be as efficient as possible across the board, fire, police, budget, I mean, everything has to be. So this just raises a concern for me because though you are still hiring firefighters, I went out and I spoke with members of the union, the union president, and that move has not been a joint agreement yet.
Well, where we're at with that was because we've actually had meetings on that and working towards that. And it kind of got stalled because the budget process got pushed out.
I understand.
And we've kind of stalled that. We've been working on that behind the scenes.
I understand.
And the local is for the civilian program with negotiations part of it. And that's part of it going on. But we kind of got to a spot where we're stuck because we don't know if we're going to be able to move forward with it or not. Because there's some unanswered questions right there. I think if we get these things done, we can move forward. But that's still part of the negotiation parts of it.
Agreed. And in a budgetary time, you know, some members of the union were told by the mayor that we're working on the police negotiations, sit tight. Understand that as well. But I also think that we need to move forward carefully with our monies. And to do this, especially without a complete agreement with the local union, I don't feel comfortable with that.
For example, last year, I put in budget for 1.5 million overtime. It was shorted because we knew the shortfalls we were going to have this year. We knew we were going to be down 10, 12 members most of the year, and plus going to med school and the things that we've done. And that's why some of the money is being moved back into the try to cover last year's overtime. If you look at my overtime request this year, it was 1.1. Reduction to reduce that by $400,000 with anticipation to try to get the civilian side moving. And if that happens, then those numbers will come down as well.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because in the overtime, I also have a question about that too, because through 6:30, you had spent in the ballpark of 15,000. And I know that a lot of the accrual happens in the summertime, but the proposal is for 539,000, even though 15,000 had been spent.
There's EMS side and fire side.
Understood.
They pull from both sides of that
Understood.
equation. With the salary savings we had this year, some of that money's been moved as well into the overtime to cover those overtime. But we still anticipate a roughly almost $400,000 shortfall in overtime by the end of the year because we're spending between $108,000 and $125,000 every month on overtime.
So my final statement is this. I feel like with having EMS and fire, there sometimes is a little gray area of I'll pull from there, I'll move from there. And then I also hear, after speaking with some of the members of the union, of, well, you know, we're okay, we talked about it, but I don't have a lot of confidence that these things are locked down.
We're also trying to fix the burnout problem because I have definitely a big time burnout problem going on right now. I've got guys threatened they've had enough, they've got to enough, they're tired of forced in overtime. We're trying to solve that issue as well. That's part of this solution. And I think between the local and the city, we can get that there this year. It's just going to have to be, the talks have to happen. And like I said, they kind of got stalled. And you're right, when Ron met with, the mayor met with the local twice, both times it was, he's on board, I think we're on board, but they didn't want to open the contract up right then because the city's in contract negotiations with other entities. At that time, they wanted to make, it was complete before we approached that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of got paused. We started this a long time ago. It's just kind of got stuck.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at.
I wanted to bring you up to ask you that, but also to state that I'm not comfortable with that because I would like to hear the local group come to the table and that we all agree on this and that they take priority too.
And that's our plan. My plan is once whatever happens here is to get all of us in the same room and start that process because they want to trust us that we're doing the right thing for them too. It's all about trust and believing what I'm telling them and what the city administration is telling them. And so as we work together, then that's what we're trying to do is work together.
Yeah, but we got some work to do on that, but I thank you for your time.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions?
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. Purcell?
Yes, Chief, I have a question on civilians and what FSLA considers a work week for a civilian without overtime.
It's basically because what we've done is we're looking at they're on a 40-hour work week, but they would work 24 hours a week, and that would be 40 hours plus the 8 hours overtime. and how we would work it. And that'd be part of their salary. That overtime would be built into the salary, the way it would work out. So they would still get 8 hours overtime because our schedules are 24 hours and on 40-hour work weeks. So basically the way our schedule works, if you work a 3-day cycle, they'd work the first day and the last day. And the middle day, the union would have to pick up the spots on the medic trucks for that. But that's how we would use them for basically 2 days out of every tour. So-
If this plan is agreed to.
Yes.
Okay, and you realize.
That's what we're working on. That's some of the details that we're working on.
You realize that every additional firefighter is 1.5 civilians if you were to add firefighters.
I mean, like I said, it's giving me flexibility with hiring, because the big problem is, right now, it takes me 5 months to get you in the door. To get you to the medic part of it, it's almost a 3-year process. I've got reprogrammed graduating medics, hopefully every year, that we can offer them a civilian spot if they go through the process so that we get that addressed, that we have flexibility to hire medics only and cover those spots. Because right now, the fire service across the country is in the same spot we're in. The constant rotation, they're going here, 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 here. You know, we're training them, spend a lot of money on them, and then they go someplace else because of whatever reason they're going for. And we need some flexibility, and that's why the civilian program. And we've reached out to a lot of other departments in the state, how they're operating, and the civilian program is working for them, and in the same kind of capacity. Answer your questions?
Financially, we don't have a lot of flexibility.
I understand.
Any additional questions, comments?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
so what is the Finance Committee's recommendation on ordinance 48, 2025?
Mr. Burkhart?
I don't have a recommendation.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Move to engross.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second.
Have a motion and second to engross ordinance 48, 2025. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Call the question.
Second.
Have a motion to call the question and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Please call the question.
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Jane Bumbleau,
Aye.
Justin Burkhart,
Aye.
and Jerry Purcell,
No.
and Larry Parker.
Aye.
8-1 in favor.
Motion carried. Thank you very much.
Ordinance number 38, 2025, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
Ordinance 38, 2025 is a transfer budget amending the 2025 budget. Does council have any questions or comments regarding ordinance number 38, 2025? Hearing none, what's council's
Move to
pleasure?
engross.
Second.
Have a motion and second to engross ordinance number 38, 2025. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
This one is?
Yes.
Call the question.
Second.
Have a motion and second to call the question.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir?
this is the budget itself,
No.
No.
38, 2025.
38.
I think that's 39.
I thought,
Pardon me?
we're not on 38?
Yes. Yeah, we're on 38.
Amending the budget. Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought, okay.
39 is the budget.
Yeah,
Sorry.
39 at the bottom is.
Call the question.
Call the question.
Second.
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Already done it.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor,
Aye.
Gary Turner.
Aye.
Jane Bumbleau.
Aye.
Justin Burkhart.
Aye.
Jerry Purcell,
Aye.
and Larry Parker.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 51, 2025, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2025 budget and authorizing a reduction in appropriations from certain funds.
Comments or questions on ordinance number 51,
I'm open.
2025? Reduction of the 25 budget.
Move to engross.
Hold on.
Mr. President,
Pardon me?
My links aren't opening here. Can we get a little bit of additional clarity on the certain funds
And my link's open.
to make sure that nothing has,
Pass that to him, please. Questions or comments on 51, 2025? Mr. Turner?
Move to engross.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to engross ordinance number 51, 2025. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Burkhart, does the Finance Committee have an opinion?
no opinion.
All right.
Call the question.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to call the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Please call the question.
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor.
Aye.
Gary Turner.
Aye.
Jane Bumbelow.
Aye.
Justin Burkhart.
Aye.
Jerry Purcell.
Aye.
And Larry Parker.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Motion carried. Thank you very much.
Ordinance number 39, 2025, an appropriation ordinance to be known as the 2026 budget.
Comments or questions?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
going based on my conversation or interacting with the fire chief, there are a couple things that I would like to change.
Okay.
Specifically to those 5 civilian positions, and the lines 1196, the 1220, and 1230. I feel like without having the joint approval, I think it's inappropriate to move forward on that at this juncture. After speaking with some of the members of the union, I know that a lot was going on. People were busy working on other things, but that doesn't mean that they get a backseat. So I would like to motion to amend those amounts.
What were the numbers again, please?
The full number is 2015-0301-101-1196, which is salaries and wages. And it's basically reducing it to no civilians because, again, in a time where we've had to take a hard look at the budget and look at other civilian positions and not having an approval from the local union, I would like to amend that along with the Social Security line item and with the PERF contribution line item because
What is the total amount?
well, the proposed amount for the salaries and wages is $381,319.28. The proposal for the Social Security is $35,249, and the proposal for the PERF contribution is $42,708. And my motion is to
Mr.
amend.
President, I think the EMS secretary's in there in that 386. Is that correct? I don't think you want to reduce all of it, just the EMS.
So
This amount.
with looking at and having conversations in collaboration with the Finance Committee, I believe the motion that he's looking to make is that the amended amount for the 2215-0301-101-1196 salaries and wages would be $107,249. The amendment for 2215-0301-106-1220 would be to amend that to $25,250. The amendment for 2215-0301-107-1230, which is the PERF contribution, would be to amend that to a number of $4,404.
What exactly does that do to our total budget now then?
So within the EMS budget, let me get the right one. So if that motion were to pass and that were to be reduced, the new amount that we would have, sorry, I have a variety of different scenarios here, so I need to pull the right one. So that would change the total in the EMS budget to $4,316,803 would be the total budget for the First Response Fund 2215 if that motion were to pass and those three reductions were put in place. That puts it back to the amount for the individuals that were in the 2025 budget. It just removes those additional 6 civilian medics.
Mr. President.
Question for Beth, if I can.
Okay, go right ahead.
Beth, if we do this tonight, how much difficulty would we have in bringing it back into to play, provided that the fire chief manages to get together with the union and come to an agreement, even if it's not the formal union agreement for next year, but sufficient for Mr. Burkhart's satisfaction that it's been done?
So it would be an additional appropriation ordinance that would come back before council to add those funds in. The EMS budget has a healthy enough cash reserve that you would be able to entertain an additional appropriation and return those funds as needed to their appropriate line items.
Mr. President.
Mr. Goss?
That was the same question that I was,
Okay.
so.
Mr. President.
Mr. Purcell?
Yes, I would like to add to that motion to reduce line item 2215-0301-101-1302 overtime. That's proposed at $539,000 to $339,000 in this same motion. And I will explain what that does. Within these line items, as everyone knows, you can move money without coming back to council within the 1,000s. And the money that is being reduced from the line items for the civilians comes up to be approximately $322,000. And if you take the $339,000 in overtime, you can move that money to pay for this civilian program once an agreement is reached with the union, and it'll eliminate the need, or should eliminate the need, for overtime. So with all those changes made, they should have the money to do either program.
Additional comments or questions?
I'll second the motion.
Mr. President, this would be a joint motion between Mr. Burkhart and Mr. Purcell. Do the two of you agree that as a combination, that motion will be one that could be seconded by Mr. Goss? I agree. Okay. Just wanted to clarify procedurally. Thank you.
I would have preferred it to be separate ones.
We can certainly take that, Britt. You have 3 proposals, I believe, from Mr. Burkhart and 1 from Mr. Purcell. Is that accurate? Yes. We can start with Mr.
What is council's pleasure? Do you want these separate or combined?
I'm fine if it's combined, because
I'm fine with combined as well.
Yeah.
Okay, then combined is fine. Okay.
Okay.
Would you please state that? Because I sure can't. I sure couldn't, and I don't think either one of those gentlemen could either, since they're combining them.
I will read in the last 4 digits of each account. 1196 salary and wages proposed was $381,319.28, would be amended to $107,000 or $107,249. Count 1220 Social Security proposed was $35,249. Amended amount would be $25,250. Account 1230 perf would be proposed $42,708, amended to $4,404. And finally, 1302 overtime was proposed at $539,000, amended to $339,000. Do I have that correct, gentlemen?
Correct.
All right.
And if this doesn't work out, it can also be, we can also appropriate the money later on, is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. President.
Okay. Everyone has heard it. I think we're ready to vote.
On the
We haven't,
amendment?
Did we get a motion?
Pardon me?
Have we engrossed it?
No, we got to vote on the motion.
Yes,
we do.
We have to. Let's vote on the motion.
You want a roll call then?
Yes, please.
Okay. Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor. Pardon? Okay. Gary Turner.
aye.
Jane Bumbleow.
Aye.
Justin Burkhart.
Aye.
Jerry Purcell.
Aye.
Larry Parker.
Aye.
All are in favor of the motion.
Okay, now we need to engross it.
Move to engross.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to engross. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Call the question.
Second.
Motion, call the question. Please call the question.
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Ann Taylor,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Jane Bumbleow,
Aye.
Justin Burkhart,
Aye.
Jerry Purcell,
Aye.
Larry Parker.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Thank you. Motion carried. We have no additional business to come before council?
Move for adjournment.
Mr.
Second.
President,
Yes, sir.
may I read a statement?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank Beth Fields for joining our budget team this year, and I hope that this partnership continues. We have addressed many issues in the 2026 budget and will continue to address additional current issues for a long-term solution to our needs and limited available funding for our community. The issue must be addressed locally as well as at the state level. The biggest achievement of this budget is setting a course and additional layers of transparency and oversight for the future. I do not want to look in the rearview mirror to find fault or blame, but forward through the windshield for future sustainability, blight reduction, and infrastructure maintenance as a clear vision for all of our citizens. Thanks to all who supported the need and to get this forward progress.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all of those people who worked real hard on this budget as well, because they put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. The thing that I didn't really appreciate was at the very last minute, at our last meeting, we had all agreed that it was ready to go, it was a good budget, and then tonight we chopped it up again. I think that we should have made up our minds before tonight. Any additional comments? We stand adjourned.